What's going on, people? This is Shok, and in today's video, the cartwheel's coming, by the way. It's just been raining outside like all freaking week in Texas. Texas does not have true spring times. You would think, oh, it's sunny, it's picnic time and all that stuff. No. It's rain time, it's storm time, it's tornado coming through your neighborhood and killing all your neighbors that you've grown up with time. That's springtime in Texas. But the video's coming. I'm gonna do a cartwheel on camera since I got that Patreon goal that for some reason you people are actually donating to. But let me not get off topic. But yeah, obviously today, you know, it's May. It's time to start talking about E3 and E3 conferences. I might do a video specifically talking about, you know, things regarding Sony and Microsoft for E3, but I'm not sure about that. If you guys want to see one, by all means, you know, tell me, I'll do it. But I'm not too keen on talking about them because honestly, I don't have much to say regarding them. But Nintendo, I definitely have. I have a couple things I need to say about them and a couple points I want to point out to people, right? Because we all know what happened. Was that last month or was it in March? You know, sometime this spring, Nintendo announced that 2015 is no longer the target year for Zelda U. Now, a lot of people took that, and I'm not saying you guys are wrong in thinking this or assuming this, but a lot of people took that and they're like, oh, you know, it's delayed. It's delayed to 2016 officially. That's most likely true, and I agree with you guys that probably does just freaking mean that it's delayed to 2016, but they actually never used the word delayed, right? Anuma actually said that 2015 is no longer the target, is no longer the focus for them. So basically what that means is that if they can actually get it done by 2015, it'll still release in 2015, but they're just saying, don't be surprised if it does slip back into 2016. That's pretty much what they were saying, right? And alongside this announcement, they also said that Zelda U is also not even going to be at E3. It's not going to be in the Nintendo digital event at all. So, you know, a lot of people took that as, you know, just the worst news ever. I mean, and yeah, you know, it sucks. All of us were looking forward to, you know, a brand new Zelda that, you know, really shakes things up a bit. It's the first, like, true, you know, open world Zelda and all that stuff. But I actually took that as very, very, very good news. And here's why. And this isn't rocket science, and I've seen some of you guys, you know, say it yourselves. But here's why I took that as very good news. Because look at the Wii U. I'm looking up here because I have my Wii U like up here on my desk. Little 3, you know, level desk I have. You guys have seen it in some older videos. But if you have a system like the Wii U that's struggling the way it is, and then you have like your second biggest franchise ever, one of your most notable franchises, one of your highest rated franchises, series of all time, and you're willing to delay it and also not even like mention it in your E3 conference, that obviously means that you have a lot of things in place there to compensate for that. You see what I mean? Now, I know, you know, some of you Nintendo fans out there might be saying, well, that doesn't necessarily mean that. This is Nintendo, and sometimes, you know, when you try to use logic for Nintendo, the exact opposite ends up happening. You know, they don't always go for, I can't even say that. They don't usually go for the logical thing, right? If you're like, oh, they're going to do this because there's this, and this, and that. And like, it could be like really great points, and they end up doing something like completely freaking different. I know. And I might be foolish for this again, but I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic. I don't think there's any way in hell they would not launch Zelda this year and have like nothing in place to make up for that. You see what I mean? Now, I don't think it's going to be one big game that's going to replace Zelda. I don't think there is any one big game they could do to replace Zelda unless they secured some extremely huge third-party franchise game coming out this year or something like that. Like, they would have to do something like get Tomb Raider exclusive for the Wii U and rip it from Microsoft. Like, they would have to do something like that. So I don't think it's going to be one, you know, big game or even like 2 big games. I think it's just going to be a high quantity of, you know, good games. Lesser games, but there's a lot of them, you know, so that's going to replace, you know, Zelda U potentially being pushed back in 2016. So that's the first reason why I think that this year is going to be pretty great for Nintendo. The second reason being they haven't announced a single game in 2015. They haven't. If you actually think about it, maybe they've announced some small like eShop stuff and stuff like that. But if you think about it, every game we know coming out this year was announced last year. Mario Party 10's already out. We already knew about that. The Kirby game's already out. You know, we already knew about that. I could go ahead and count Splatoon because Splatoon will be out by the time, you know, E3 comes around. And then there's, you know, Yoshi's Woolly World, the new Star Fox coming, Xenoblade Chronicles X, and Devil's Third, right? So those are all the games we know coming out this year, and those were games announced last year. So, you know what I mean? Considering the fact that, excuse me, considering the fact that they haven't announced any other games coming out this year in 2015, that means that all those announcements and stuff that they could have made this whole time are being saved and stored for this digital event. You see what I'm saying? So I think it's just going to be like announcement. I think this year might be, you know, a repeat of what 2010 was for the Wii. I think 2014, it's 2015 now. I think 2015 is going to be what 2010 was, you know, for the Wii. It's going to be that way for the Wii U. I think we're going to get a buttload of games. I think we're going to get an amazing conference, especially considering the digital event last year wasn't necessarily amazing. It was okay. It was okay. I gave Nintendo the win for E3 overall last year because that whole Treehouse stuff and all the stuff they did outside the actual conference was actually like really freaking cool and awesome. I would love to see all three companies do stuff like that. But as far as comparing, you know, the digital event and the conferences or whatever, I definitely think that theirs was a little weak. I actually gave the win to Microsoft. If you guys don't remember or if you didn't see my videos last year, I actually thought Microsoft had the best conference last year out of the big three. And that's not to say that these companies intentionally, you know, plan things this way, do things this way. You know, like, oh, our you know, conference last year wasn't that great, so this year we're going to make sure we just go balls to the wall. I'm not saying they do that intentionally. It's just kind of a pattern that's happened. Not so much with Microsoft in the past, because when they were stuck on that whole Kinect thing, they were pretty predictable. And, you know, whenever they're doing the E3 conference, all they're going to do is talk about Kinect, you know. But as far as like Nintendo and Sony, whatever, usually whenever they had a bad year, the next year or the 2 years later, you know, they would have like a really, really strong conference. We saw it with 2008, which was abysmal. And then their 2009 conference was like really solid. And then their 2010 was like, that was one of the best E3 conferences in like recent times, right? So I think this digital event is going to be chock full of games. Like I said, there isn't a single game coming out in 2015 that has been announced here in 2015. And Nintendo said that they're also, all the games they're going to be showing for Wii U and 3DS are going to be 2015 games. They said it's going to focus on games releasing this year. So all these games haven't been released yet. They've been saved and stored for this digital event. And there isn't going to be really any 2016 games like that either. I did see Iwata say something about they're going to be announcing games they're going to release before April next year, which would mean after March of 2016, which would be then the fiscal year. So maybe by a year he meant the fiscal year 2015. But regardless, all these games they're going to be announcing are going to be coming out this year. And considering the fact that no new announcements have been made since, what, like October 2014, I think? Because we've known about all the games coming out this year for like a long while in 2014, right? They didn't make all these announcements, you know, December 2014, you know, right before the new year came, right? Even in 2014, we had a list of those games for a long while. You see what I mean? So there's going to be a crap load of games. Also, one thing I thought about is, you know, moving Zelda, it kind of accomplishes two things. It lets these other games get more attention. And also, I think another reason why I think all these games are coming out this year is the fact that they're releasing Zelda in 2016, because a lot of these games are going to be ready this year, ready to launch this year. They're not going to be ready to launch next year. They're already going to be done and stuff. You know, it's not going to take till next year to release them. See what I mean? So that's another reason why they're also pushing Zelda into next year, because they know that they're not going to really have a big gun like that. I mean, I could be wrong. This is all just, you know, just educated guessing and stuff like that. But I think that's the main reason why they're even considering launching Zelda in 2016. Because they're like, oh man, like the development of all these games just so happens to line up to where they're all going to be ready to launch in 2015. And we don't really have that much to launch in 2016. So let's go ahead and push Zelda. We have tons of games that could compensate for the lack of Zelda this year. Boom. And that just makes perfect sense to me. It sounds like a perfect plan. I think Nintendo is planning a really, really great digital event. But outside of that stuff, like more specific predictions, I do think we'll get a Metroid revealed. I do. I also do think that we're going to get an F-Zero revealed. Reason being, the Mario Kart 8 DLC and the fact that they've released like every single freaking like F-Zero game ever made, you know, on the Wii U Virtual Console, right? I think it's been pretty apparent that they've been kind of like gauging the interest people have for F-Zero, as well as, you know, giving F-Zero a little bit more attention, you know, to build up into the announcement of the new F-Zero game for Wii U. You know, like they did 2 tracks for F-Zero, 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 you know, Mario Kart 8. I don't think they did that for a reason. I think it was kind of like a practice, really, to, I don't know, you know, get them, you know, nailing the F-Zero vibe and, you know, atmosphere, whatever, on the tracks, whatever, and also getting fans, you know, attention kind of, you know, toward F-Zero to prepare for the Wii U release. Why do I think we're getting a Metroid? I think there's just been, actually, I can't even say hints. They blatantly told us last year that they were working on 3D and 2D Metroids. So we already know Metroid is coming. Even if it doesn't get shown and announced this year, a new Metroid for the Wii U is coming regardless. It may not get announced this year. I've heard that it's going to get announced this year. I believe it. It is what it is. Not to mention, you know, Retro's been working on a new game since November 2013. It definitely be in a showable form by now. You know, Reggie had the Metroid pin, you know, at the VGX where he announced Cranky Kong. That was that was very dark times. I don't even want to remember that. Like that was dark times. I don't want to think about that. I don't even know why I brought that up. I'm slowly getting angry just remembering that whole thing. But you know, and I also think we're going to get maybe like 1 to 3 surprise third-party announcements. I think we're going to get a really cool collaboration, because Iwata did say that there's more collaborations in the work. So we might see like one really cool exclusive collab between Nintendo and a notable third-party developer. And outside of that, outside of collaborations, I think we might get like 1 or 2 surprise multi-plat, you know, announcements as well. Black Ops 3, the Wii U logo was on the site for that game, so maybe we will, you know, they'll show that Black Ops 3 is coming to Wii U. If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure when I woke up and I went to Facebook, I saw that Assassin's Creed Syndicate was actually had a Wii U logo at the bottom of its site as well. So maybe just randomly somehow, for some reason, Ubisoft decides to just throw in this random Assassin's Creed game back on the Wii U. I don't know. Personally, I don't give a shit about Assassin's Creed. I'm tired of that series, to be honest. If it died tomorrow, I wouldn't even blink. Like it'd be whatever. I could have cared less. But regardless, it would just, anything Nintendo could get, you know, right for the Wii U would just be great at this point. Any other multi-platform? You know, we know Rock Band is coming out. It is Rock Band, right? Not Guitar Hero. Yeah, new Rock Band. That new one coming out is announced for Wii U. It's getting some Lego games, whatever. So this kind of might be like the last hurrah year, you know, for Wii U and multiplayer. Because beyond this year, I don't really see any you know, big major multi-platform titles, you know, coming out to Wii U. I definitely don't see that happening. But yeah, those are pretty much my predictions. This video really had nothing to do with the newest video that they actually put out today, because I wanted to do this video for a while. I just never got around to it because my computer was tripping. I just had to wipe it to like get it functioning properly again. So that's why you guys are once again seeing videos. I had to wipe it, start fresh, because my mouse was tripping. It kept freezing up and stuff like that. I guess it was the porn I was downloading. I don't know, but I don't download porn. Why? All I gotta do is bookmark it in your browser, right? But anyways, I'm trying to think if I have anything else to say. Again, I might go ahead and do a video covering both Sony and Microsoft if you guys want me to. But those are my thoughts on Nintendo. I might be setting myself up for disappointment. I might be setting myself up for failure. But I can't help it. I don't see why there's any reason in the world Nintendo is not going to have a really good digital event. Chock full of games, chock full of relevant games, you know, at that. Oh, one of the games I forgot to mention is coming out this year is Mario Maker. That was also announced last year, I believe. But yeah, I think Nintendo is going to have just a bunch of games, game. I think we will get a Metroid finally for Wii U. And I think we're finally going to get the return of F-Zero. Hey, we already got the return of Star Fox. Why Star Fox and not F-Zero when those things were never requested separately, right? If somebody asks for Star Fox, they also ask for F-Zero. If they ask for F-Zero, they also ask for Star Fox. So I also think F-Zero is coming. Hold up. Jesus. Okay, you know, y'all know when y'all are just like talking to somebody or just playing a game, whatever. You see something black, like in the corner of your eye. It's like a freaking bug just walking across the room. Yeah, I just have to go stomp it out real fast with my shoe. But that's it for this video, y'all. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all later. Peace.